On this episode of All Star Shore, the wildest, most unbelievable thing to happen all season happens. And I know I've started a few of these recaps saying similar stuff, but this time I really mean it. Because on this episode of All Star Shore, two different people refer to Joey as their future husband. I'm Lizzie Frizzle, and this is the Recap Corner. Today, we're talking about Season 1, Episode 8, called Best Friends, Lots of Benefits. Even though most of what's featured are friendships without benefits. James doesn't invite Kurime on the Paradise Reward. Angelina forces Joey to have the same argument multiple times. And when Chloe confesses her crush, Joey doesn't reciprocate. But hey, we've all been there, Chloe. At least I have. A couple of times. We're back in a Shore Villa bedroom during the Margarita party. As usual, the last episode left off on a cliffhanger ending that's resolved in about 4 seconds at the beginning of this one. Turns out, after drinking too much, Marina is indeed fine. Well, she's not fine, she's shithoused, but she's alive and just needs to sleep it off. Consider that cliff hanged. After, Angelina and Potro rejoin the group, and they all party till dawn, or whenever they go to bed, while Chloe and Joey are still stuck at the crappy camel stall exile until morning, when they're finally allowed to walk back to the Shore Villa. As they head out, Joey is so disoriented from the poor night's sleep inside the yurt, he can't remember the word exile. It's another important contribution to the recurring theme of Joey not being able to retain a single detail about this show's format.
That was my first and last exile. Is it exile? Was it?
Exile.
That's my first and last exile I'm ever doing, ever.
At the Shore Villa, Bethan and Johnny once again wake up in the sexile room. As the end of filming draws near, they start to confront the fact that if they want to continue their relationship after, they'll be doing it like mega long distance. Later, Bethan tells Chloe about her growing feelings for Johnny. Chloe floats the idea that Bethan could move to LA. Bethan agrees that she'd like it there, but says it's way too soon for that kind of talk. She also puts on a full face of makeup to remind Johnny how great he's got it now that they're regularly hooking up in the sexile room. It's like the reverse of that old stereotype that women stop wearing makeup once they get a man. Outside, the cast agrees that Kurime and Ricardo's Margarita party was the best night they'd had so far. And they all notice that without Chloe and Joey, there was no drama. Anticipating their return from exile, the group predicts the ways in which Joey will describe his experience. Right on cue, Chloe and Joey return to the villa from the crappy camel stalls. Immediately, Joey proves the cast right.
I'm sure they're gonna come back and act like fucking they had such a terrible night last night and it was so horrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. The worst night ever.
It was the worst night.
Ooh, talking about the devil.
What's that?
How were the exile?
Mate, it was the worst night ever.
As the cast prepares to compete in their first Paradise game with their new partners, Marina tells her new teammate James that she's still drunk from her margarita party bender the night before. Initially, I thought this was going to be a big deal. Like, maybe Marina and James wouldn't be able to compete in the Paradise game because of logistical issues like insurance liability or rules in the cast's contracts. But then it never comes up again. Maybe she wasn't really drunk, or maybe it's not stipulated that the cast can't be drunk at the Paradise Games. Either way, it isn't a storyline on its own, just a smaller piece of a larger narrative that was introduced last episode. James doesn't expect Marina to be a competitive partner and basically thinks he's lost his chance at the money despite being tied for first place at this point in the episode. The cast receives a clue about the upcoming Paradise Game. It simply says, "Let's party." As they arrive at Paradise Beach to party, new matching bathing suits are introduced. But some of them are the same suits as before. Angelina and Johnny are wearing Angelina and Joey's original suits. Bethan also has the same suit, but now Blake has a trunks version of it. I also think Gigi is wearing the same suit, which would mean Trina is wearing the version Clarime once wore. The Paradise Game is called Host with the Most. It's played in 3 phases. First, pairs run around an oversized record. As they run in circles, spinning the record, a needle slowly drops down. Once the needle touches the record, teams can advance to phase 2, spooling a disco ball and a rope, or thread, around a giant spool. Beyond the records, there's a big, scaffolding setup. At the top, there's a giant spool for each team, all positioned horizontally. One thread end is attached to the spool, the other end is attached to the disco ball. Teams toss the disco ball up and over the spool until the thread is completely wound. Or, as Pauly D confusingly explains it, until the disco ball reaches its highest point. The final phase is a puzzle. Teams must arrange bottles on shelves, ensuring that no column or row has more than one of the same color bottle. And there are 5 bottle colors in total. First team to solve the puzzle wins the Paradise Game, safety from the upcoming Exile Game, the ability to send one team into the Exile Game, points added to their shore score, and the opportunity to enjoy a Paradise reward. In this case, it's a jet ski outing followed by a relaxing day at a beach club alongside another team of their choosing. This is one of the most complicated Paradise Games so far. It kind of feels like the beginnings of 3 separate Paradise Game concepts that were never finished. So they got combined into one mega game instead. Still, it was a really fun segment to watch. Instead of a full-on drinking theme, Host with the Most is about planning a party. Phase 1 with the record is about picking music. Phase 2 with the disco ball is about setting up decorations. And phase 3 with the bottles, which apparently actually had liquid in them, is about preparing the drinks. Chloe and Joey take an early lead after the record spinning, with Vanjie and Potro and Bethan and Blake right behind. Soon after, all the teams move on to phase 2, except Karime and Ricardo, who are struggling to spin their record. And it does look really tiring. The needle moves down a lot slower than I expected it to, and it's really hard to run in the sand. Over at phase 2, Bethan and Blake move into the lead as they finish winding their disco ball and thread, but Chloe and Joey are close behind in second place as both teams begin their puzzle, the final phase. Suddenly, Karime and Ricardo are the next team to arrive at the puzzle station, which was shocking because we never even saw them finish the record spinning. As Karime and Ricardo surge ahead, Gigi and Trina struggle to wind their disco ball after the thread gets caught on the outside of the spool. But eventually, through the magic of teamwork, aka sitting on each other's shoulders, they get it done. Now, every team is working on their puzzle, and it really feels like anyone could win. I love puzzles, so I paused the episode for a while here to contemplate how I'd approach solving this one. Of course, in the moment, I'm sure I'd panic, but from my couch, I'd start with a lot of counting. I'd count the number of columns, 5, and the number of rows, 4. Then I'd count how many bottles there are, 16, and how many of each color. That alone gives a lot of good info because you learn that there are 4 blue bottles and 4 green bottles. There are also only 4 rows, so right away you know that there's a blue bottle and a green bottle in every row. So I'd take that information and then I'd work from there and hope for the best. It seems like most, if not all, of the cast is struggling to solve the puzzle. At least that's how it's presented to fit the overall tone of the show, which is, as Vanjie described on the Drag Race pit stop, Big Brother with drunks. At one point, Chloe and Joey think they've solved the puzzle and won the Paradise game. They start to celebrate, but they're wrong. However, unless I'm also wrong, I think they were only one move away from actually winning, but they don't see it. Angelina and Johnny are the next team to ask for a check. They're also wrong. But at the puzzle station next to them, now it's Bethan and Blake who are just one move away from winning. They also don't see it. Finally, we do get a winner. It's Marina and James, which is a very exciting, very unexpected conclusion to James's doubts about their partnership, even if they never win another Paradise game. Though I think there's probably only like one left. To celebrate, Marina and James debut a great handshake.
Then we've switched and just got first place again.
Yes.
Angelina and Johnny come in second place. Bethan and Blake place third. Then Vanjie and Potro come in fourth. Chloe and Joey and Karime and Ricardo finish pretty much simultaneously in fifth and sixth place, which leaves poor Gigi and Trina as the last place finishers, otherwise known as the losers, who will be automatically sent into the next exile game. The third place finishers, Bethan and Blake, earn 10 points to their shore score, bringing their new total up to 45. Angelina and Johnny, as the second placers, earn 20 points to their shore score. Their new total is 55. And the winners, Marina and James, earn 30 points, bringing their new shore score all the way up to 65, which is just 5 points less than what James had with his former partner, Blake. At the Shore Villa, Johnny tells Marina and James that he and Angelina are the obvious choice to vote into the exile game, since they have the next most points behind Marina and James. He brings it up a few more times throughout the rest of the episode to the point where it kind of starts coming off like an ego thing. Like Johnny wants to be targeted because then it's like he's the best, most feared competitor. Later, at the Great White Shark Club, which, if I interpreted correctly, is what the cast named their outdoor space with the disco shark, Gigi, Marina, and Ricardo cook the cast a quesadilla dinner, while Potro cooks a separate quesadilla for Angelina. She's flirting with him, but no surprise, she quickly goes back to Joey. Via a flashback, we see a conversation between Angelina and Trina. During, Angelina explains that she's going to continue her plan of flirting with Joey, of meddling in his relationship with Chloe, to keep them both, Chloe and Joey, distracted from any upcoming Paradise games. But why? Chloe is the only person in the cast to go to exile twice. And she was on crutches a few episodes ago. Joey hasn't won a Paradise game since episode 1. They're not threatening competitors. I'm curious as to when this Angelina-Trina conversation took place. Was Angelina always carrying out this plan? Or is this the story she came up with partway into filming after she realized that maybe her flirting with Joey had gone too far? Also, wasn't Angelina so mad at Gigi earlier in the season for playing games with Blake? Something she wasn't even doing? How is Angelina's scheming any different? If anything, it's worse. Back in the present, Angelina moves ahead with her confusing, embarrassing plan. She's slapping Joey's ass. She's pressing herself up against him.
To be honest with you.
What?
You smell good.
I always smell good, so ring, innit? What are you slapping my ass for?
Flirting again.
She's not flirting.
Oh no, I'm not flirting.
But when she calls him her next husband, the flirting's officially too intense for Joey.
Give me a cheers, cheers, listen. To being friends.
I'm not your friend.
What am I then?
My next husband.
Fucking hell. Future husband. There's flirting and there's taking it a step too far.
With her plan backfiring, Angelina pivots. She tells Chloe that Joey is basically leading them both on, flirting with them both, telling them both different things. It's a very strange conversation to be having when one of the people involved is married. Once again, the Angelina, Chloe, Joey drama begins to overtake the night. Gigi and Blake try to stop it, both by pleading with Angelina to stop flirting with Joey and by telling Chloe that Joey told them he just likes the attention from her. He's not actually interested in snogging. And I know from this book that for some reason got really popular at my U.S. high school that snogging means kissing.
He loves the attention from you, but he knows that you're more into him than he's into you. Straight up, it's what he said out of his mouth.
Say out of his mouth.
Yes. Blake was there.
We've always been like that. I've never told her.
Chloe confronts Joey about what Gigi and Blake told her. He's cagey and he's trying to deny things, but he also implies that he and Chloe have had similar conversations before about him not wanting to be more than friends. Chloe confesses that she's got feelings for Joey. He doesn't reciprocate, which we already knew, but the rejection is probably the sweetest, most genuine Joey has come off all season.
Well, you ain't told me that, have you? You ain't been clear. You ain't told me you felt that way.
Oh yeah. I'm so confused.
Why don't we talk about this tomorrow? Because you've had a drink, yeah? I've only had one drink. Well, fucking two. No, three.
Amid this raw, surprisingly real for reality TV moment between friends, Angelina menacingly bursts onto the scene looking to interrupt the conversation. I know that Chloe and Joey's friendship is going to survive when Joey crawls away from Angelina while Chloe distracts her.
Where are they?
Oh, fucking, I'm not available. Fuck that, I'm not available, bruv.
I don't know what you're doing, but I just want to be honest with you. Like,
Where'd he go?
Where's Joey at?
I don't know. He's probably over there somewhere.
Where'd you see him walk?
Like over there.
oh, he's
Running away?
After the night fizzles, the cast goes to bed except for Vanjie, who goes to climb the balcony and entertain his castmates.
I work hard, play hard, bitch. We didn't come all the way over here to Africa to go to sleep. Spider-Man. Some people want to go to bed early. No, we not here for that. Let me live. I'm having fun. Why is everybody going to bed?
In the morning, the cast rehashes the Angelina, Chloe, Joey drama while Marina and James discuss who to invite to the Paradise Reward, the chance to jet ski, followed by a relaxing day at a beach club. Marina wants to invite a fun party pair like Potro and Vanjie. James advocates bringing Chloe and Joey to give them a break from the villa drama. But Marina thinks that isolating them from the group will only lead to people talking about them all day while they're gone. Despite Karime's campaigning to James for her and Ricardo to be chosen, he and Marina pick Angelina and Johnny. But Marina warns Angelina that she doesn't want to hear any Joey talk. Johnny is shocked to be picked, and even wonders if it's only to lighten the blow of potentially still being chosen to compete in the exile game. At the Paradise Reward, Johnny takes Angelina for a wild ride on the jet ski, while Marina and James go much slower and still fall off, which would be me. One time I got invited on like a group ATV tour, and I was driving so slowly they had to send a second guide just to accompany me. Later, at the beach club portion of the reward, I expect an alliance to be proposed by Marina and James, since together with Angelina and Johnny, they're currently the top two teams and in line to compete in the final event for the prize money. But no such alliance is proposed. We just get more of Johnny telling Marina and James that they should vote him and Angelina into the exile game. At the Shore Villa, Chloe and Joey agree to move past Chloe's crush. Joey also advises her to not take any more advice from any of the women in the cast, which I really think just means Angelina. Suddenly, the cast gets a surprise announcement. It reads, "Grab your bikinis and Speedos because you're going to the beach club." Cut to the cast joining the reward goers at the beach club to enjoy a fancy spread of what I think might be considered tapas. Even Chloe, who's been feeling majorly isolated, is happy to be there. At first.
The music is pumping, the drinks are flowing, there's potatoes and whippy besties.
Soon, Angelina corners Joey to talk again about their relationship. But after the next husband comment, Joey's entire demeanor has shifted. The last time Angelina initiated this conversation, Joey was playfully combative, but now he's dismissive. And when Angelina ignores his request that she go away, he goes away. Naturally, Angelina follows him.
But just go away.
Yo, nobody will ever tell Angelina to go away.
Well, I just did.
You got the wrong motherfucker here.
Well, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there and have a great day.
You can go, because I'll walk out fucking with you. How dare you?
Immediately, Angelina rehashes to the group, despite Marina's earlier plea to stop talking about Joey. I'm kind of surprised that no one is more irritated with her, like they all are with Chloe and Joey, but maybe they decided it's too big a hassle to argue with Angelina. What follows is a very awkward scene. Angelina is sitting in one booth with most of the cast talking about Chloe and Joey, while Chloe and Joey sit alone at their own booth right next door. Occasionally, Bethan climbs between the booths to check on Chloe and Joey. She asks Joey how it's possible that he and Angelina have had so many repetitive conversations about their issues with nothing getting resolved. Joey's answer is simple. Angelina is aggressively negative, and he's removed himself from the situation. My speculative guess is that, crush aside, Angelina won't leave Joey alone because she didn't actually want to stop being his partner. She only said that because she was mad. When she said it last episode, I thought she meant it because she realized how badly she was probably going to look throughout the season. But I guess I was just being naive. Because now that they're no longer partners and don't have to interact at all if they don't want to, Angelina's more relentless than ever. But like I said, in this episode, the cast's issue is with Chloe and Joey, not Angelina. And before long, the group gets worked up about Chloe and Joey isolating themselves at their own booth. Vanjie attempts a sort of pep talk. It doesn't work. Then everyone aggressively agrees that not everyone needs to be friends. Eventually, Chloe and Joey leave the beach club without saying goodbye to anyone and grab a taxi back to the shore villa, while Joey complains that the rest of the cast is jealous of the attention he and Chloe get. I think it's possible that when Joey says he and Chloe are getting more attention, what he's implying is that they're getting more camera time, but I'm iffy on that. Later, when the rest of the cast arrives at the villa, Chloe and Joey are hard at work figuring out which lamp makes the best hat, with all the lights in the lamps turned on.
You know, back in the old days when your nana used to go for a pub. So when your nana used to go, I'm just going on the hairdresser's having chin wag.
What does this look like? Wait, what does this look like? What does one look like?
Oh, I think I'm on fire.
What's happening, bro? It's burnt my head.
After, Chloe decides to move the mattress from her bed onto the floor next to Joey's bed in a different room. She says she's taking a camping trip with her future husband, just like Angelina called him earlier in the episode. The cast is really irritated with Chloe for moving her mattress. Maybe they think it's immature or dramatic. Maybe they're just drunk and tired after a night at the beach club. Maybe they think it'll only exacerbate the us versus them dynamic developing between Chloe, Joey, and the rest of the group. But mostly the focus is on James and Vanjie because they also sleep in the same room as Joey. Others might too, but it's unclear. James and Vanjie are both unhappy about Chloe's move. James is annoyed because I guess Chloe snores, but he moves on from that pretty quickly. Vanjie, however, is way more frustrated, and the episode ends as he begins to express himself to Chloe and Joey. The next episode includes a lot of what I would consider to be quintessential all-star shore, if you can say that about a show that's only run 8 episodes. There's going to be themed parties. We see people dressed in caution tape, maybe a danger theme. And we see people dressed in big leaves, so maybe like a jungle theme or an Adam and Eve theme. Angelina gets involved in more drama after she turns the full force of her flirt tension to Potro instead of Joey, provoking the cast's ire. We also see conflict between Bethan and Johnny. Bethan is in tears, telling Johnny that she didn't mean something, and that the dynamic between them is going to be different now. My guess is that she accidentally says, "I love you" to him. But that might not be such a bad thing, because a few weeks ago, a helpful person commented on one of these recaps and taught me that Johnny was a bit of a love bomber on Love Island. So a too soon emotional admission, like saying "I love you" after a couple weeks, could really turn him on. Finally, we see a preview of the upcoming Exile game. Competitors are sliding down a water slide, but it's probably like a gross, smelly liquid and not actually water. After sliding, Gigi says her skin is burning, then an ambulance arrives. I'm really hoping that's a red herring and that she's just talking about like friction burning from the slide. Because otherwise, what, Gigi gets a chemical burn from the gross Exile game liquid? Either way, we do see an ambulance, so even if Gigi isn't burnt, someone is getting injured for the second time this season, and you never want to see anyone get hurt. Kind of a downer ending, but thanks for watching! Come back next Tuesday for another All-Star Shore recap, and in the meantime, if you're so inclined, please like and subscribe. Also, if you like to read, I'm posting weekly write-ups about the Challenge USA on dvrzar.com. Those are also posted every Tuesday. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.
What do you use this for, your head?
Man, what do you think I used it for?
I don't know.
My vagina?
It's kind of hairy, no?
That is so not what you use that for.